Imagine a vault deep within the foundation of a major international bank, not filled with gold or cash, but with a secret so profound its revelation is poised to rewrite the global financial landscape overnight. Now imagine that vault being opened, its contents activated, and the mechanism inside, which has been quietly ticking for years, finally reaching zero. What you are about to hear is not speculation. It is the culmination of a meticulously orchestrated financial operation that has just reached its most critical milestone. A milestone that directly and irrefutably points to the long-awaited revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Reliable on-the-ground sources from within multiple major U.S. financial institutions have confirmed to us, with a level of certainty we have never before been able to report, that the process known as Tier 1 redemptions is 100% complete. This is the seismic event the entire community has been waiting for, the definitive green light from the highest echelons of the financial world. For years, the concept of a global currency reset has been discussed, often dismissed by mainstream naysayers as a fantasy. But what they failed to understand is that this is not a singular event that happens on a Tuesday afternoon with a press conference. It is a phased, strategic, and deliberately slow-rolled process designed to prevent total systemic collapse while reintroducing nations like Iraq to their rightful place on the world economic stage. The completion of Tier 1 is the proof that this process is not only real, but has been successfully executed behind the scenes, away from the prying eyes of the media and the skepticism of the public. So what exactly does Tier 1 redemptions complete mean for you, the dinar holder? In the simplest terms, Tier 1 represented the initial confidential wave of exchanges. This was the phase where sovereign nations, international development funds, and certain pre-qualified institutional investors were able to exchange their holdings of specific currencies, often referred to as exotic or asset-backed currencies, at pre-negotiated rates that were significantly higher than their current public market value. Think of this as the ultimate stress test for the global banking system. Before they could ever allow the general public to flood bank lobbies with Iraqi dinar notes, the system itself, the digital plumbing, the international clearance protocols, the liquidity reservoirs, had to be proven capable of handling the immense logistical and financial pressure. The successful completion of this phase is the banking equivalent of a spacecraft completing all of its pre-launch checks and confirming that every system is a go for launch. The launch, in this case, is the public activation of the new exchange rate for the Iraqi dinar. This is why this confirmation is so earth-shatteringly important. It removes the final legitimate obstacle that has ever stood in the way of the RV. The argument has always been, the system can't handle it. That argument is now null and void. It has handled it. The proof is in the silent, successful completion of Tier 1. The digital rails are laid, the software has been updated. The bank personnel, from the top tier wealth managers down to the regional branch managers, have undergone their final rounds of training. The internal memos are now shifting in tone and substance. They are no longer about preparations, but about execution and client readiness. The energy has palpably shifted from a state of waiting to a state of imminent activation. This is the quiet before the storm, a storm of financial liberation for those who have had the foresight and the patience to position themselves correctly. The silence from the mainstream media on this topic is in fact your greatest confirmation. They cannot report on something that is, from a public-facing perspective, still in a state of pre-announcement. To do so would trigger a global, uncontrollable speculative frenzy. Their mandate is to report on events that have already happened, not on processes that are in their final confidential stages of completion. So, when you hear nothing on the nightly news, understand that it is not a sign of failure. It is a necessary component of the success of this entire operation. The pieces are now in place. The first domino has fallen. The path is clear. The only event left on the timeline, the only logical and sequential next step following the completion of Tier 1, is the official announcement from the Central Bank of Iraq, coordinated with the International Monetary Fund and the U.S. Treasury, that the Iraqi dinar has been reinstated to its full sovereign asset-backed value. We are there. Now, with the undeniable reality that the Tier 1 barrier has been crossed, let's transition from the why now to the what next and lay out a precise, step-by-step action plan for exactly what you need to expect and do from the moment the official announcement hits the airwaves. Because knowledge without a plan is just potential, and in this historic moment, you must be prepared to convert that potential into tangible, life-altering reality. The trigger event will be unmistakable. It will not be a cryptic post on a forum or a vague rumor from an unnamed source. It will be a formal, coordinated announcement from a powerful triumvirate of financial authority. The Central Bank of Iraq, the International Monetary Fund, and the U.S. Department of the Treasury, likely broadcast simultaneously across major financial news networks like Bloomberg, Reuters, and CNBC. This announcement will be clear, concise, and designed for global consumption, stating unequivocally that the Iraqi dinar is now trading at its new international exchange rate, a rate that reflects the true staggering wealth of the Iraqi nation anchored in its vast oil reserves, natural gas fields, and mineral resources. The moment that announcement is made, a digital switch will be flipped within the global banking system's core software, and the new rate will propagate instantaneously to every foreign exchange platform, every bank terminal, and every financial data aggregator in the world. Your first instinct will be euphoria, followed immediately by a surge of adrenaline to act. But this is the most critical moment to exercise disciplined patience. Do not, under any circumstances, run to your local bank branch in the first hour or even the first day. The initial 24 to 48 hours will be a period of internal stabilization for the banks themselves. Managers will be holding emergency briefings, tellers will be receiving their final procedural updates, and the dedicated systems for high-value currency exchanges will be coming fully online. Your first action should be one of verification from the safety of your own home. Use reputable financial websites like Xecom08 or Yahoo Finance to confirm the live international rate. Then, visit the official websites of the 3 to 5 major banks you selected for your exchange and look for their official press release or updated protocol for dinar exchanges. They will outline their specific process, which will almost certainly involve setting a private appointment rather than a walk-in transaction. This is for your security and for the orderly management of what they know will be a significant event. Once you have verified the rate and understood the bank's procedure, you will contact them to schedule your appointment. When you arrive for that appointment, you will be ushered into a private office away from the main lobby, and you will work with a designated financial manager or specialized currency redemption officer. This is a standard security and privacy protocol for transactions of this magnitude. They will professionally and efficiently count and verify the authenticity of your Iraqi dinar notes using advanced counterfeit detection systems. It is absolutely paramount that you sourced your dinar from a legitimate, reputable dealer, as the banks will be scrutinizing every note. Once your currency is verified, the manager will present you with the total conversion amount in your local currency, at which point you will be faced with your first major financial decision, how to receive these funds. You will have options, typically a direct wire transfer to your existing account, the creation of a new private wealth management account within that bank, or the issuance of a cashier's check. A direct wire is often the most seamless, but this is the moment where your prepared team of advisors becomes worth their weight in gold. Before you even sign the final exchange paperwork, you should have already engaged a top-tier asset protection attorney and a certified public accountant who specializes in high net worth individuals. The transfer of wealth of this scale has immediate and profound tax implications, and the structure you choose for holding these assets, be it a trust, a series of LLCs, or a private foundation, will determine your long-term financial security and legacy. The actual exchange at the bank is the simple, mechanical part of the process. The decisions you make in that private office with your newfound liquidity are what will define your future. This entire sequence, from the global announcement to the funds settling your account, is the direct consequence of the Tier 1 completion. It proved the system could handle this exact scenario, and now it is your turn to step onto the stage and claim the reward for your patience and belief. The blueprint has been tested and is ready for you. As the life-changing funds materialize in your account and the initial, overwhelming reality of your new financial status begins to settle, you must understand with absolute clarity that the exchange of your currency is not the culmination of your journey, rather the moment you cross the starting line into a completely new race, a race where the goal is no longer the acquisition of wealth, but its intelligent preservation, strategic growth, and most importantly, its purposeful application to build a legacy that will endure for generations far beyond your own lifetime. The first 90 days following your redemption will be the most critical period of your entire life, a volatile window of immense opportunity that is equally fraught with unseen pitfalls and predatory forces that you must be prepared to navigate with wisdom and a pre-constructed shield of professional guidance. The euphoria you feel will be a potent drug, and it will cloud the judgment of many, making them vulnerable to the swarm of opportunists, distant relatives with sudden business ideas, charitable organizations with emotionally compelling pitches, and sophisticated financial scammers who specifically target new wealth recipients. Your first and most non-negotiable line of defense is the immediate assembly of your personal financial counsel, a team of vetted, ethical, and top-tier professionals that must include an asset protection attorney, a certified public accountant specializing in ultra-high net worth tax strategy, and a fee-only financial advisor who operates as a fiduciary, legally bound to put your interests ahead of their own commissions. This team is not an expense, it is your most crucial investment. The architects who will help you build an impenetrable fortress around your wealth through the strategic use of irrevocable trust, family limited partnerships, and private foundations designed to shield your assets from lawsuits, unnecessary taxation, and the simple yet devastating financial mistakes that can evaporate a fortune in a shockingly short time. Once this protective structure is firmly in place, your mindset must then evolve from one of defense to one of visionary stewardship, because this wealth represents a tool of unprecedented power to not only secure your family's future, but to enact positive change on a scale you previously thought impossible. This is where you transition from being a recipient of wealth to becoming a creator of legacy. Think deeply about what truly matters to you. Is it funding medical research, establishing scholarships for underprivileged students, building sustainable water wells in developing nations, or creating a community center in your hometown? Your wealth gives you the capacity to solve real problems and to leave a permanent, positive imprint on the world. This is the ultimate purpose of this financial shift, to create a wave of benevolent change that lifts countless others. Alongside this philanthropic calling, you have the opportunity to engage in strategic, passion-driven investing, moving your money from static accounts into ventures that align with your values, whether that is in groundbreaking technology, sustainable energy, real estate development, or supporting small businesses, thereby creating cycles of economic growth and opportunity that perpetuate your legacy. And crucially, do not forget to allocate a portion for your own profound, personal enjoyment, to travel the world, to provide your family with experiences they never dreamed of, to purchase that home that has always been a fantasy, to support the arts, or to simply enjoy the peace and security that comes with financial freedom. You have endured years of uncertainty to reach this point. You have earned the right to enjoy its fruits. But remember, the key to making this wealth last is to never, ever touch the principal core of your capital. You must learn to live solely on the returns and dividends generated by that core, allowing the foundational wealth to grow in perpetuity. This is how dynasties are built. This is the final and most important lesson of this entire journey. The completion of Tier 1 redemptions was the key that unlocked the vault. Your successful exchange was the act of retrieving the contents. But what you do with those contents, how you protect it, grow it, and use it to elevate the world around you, is your true lasting legacy. The wait is over. The opportunity is now. Your future begins at this very moment. Make it count.